Hello and welcome to Anatomy series. We are done with the upper body, and now to start the final leg of this series, we're gonna be discussing, you guessed it, the legs. So the legs are basically consisting of four main components. Okay, so there are your quadriceps, which are in the front of your leg. There are the hamstrings, which are at the back of your leg. There are the glutes, which are again at the back of your leg, and then there are your calves, which are, guess what, again at the back of your legs, but behind the knee. So, like below the knee and behind the knee. Okay. There is another muscle, which is the shin muscle, which is in front of the calves. It's still below the knee, but it's in the front. But I'll count it with the calf muscle actually because it has like one exercise. It basically like shin flexion. So it's like you stand on like your toes and then you flex like that so that the shin muscle is targeted. That is basically one exercise, but we'll not discuss that particularly. We'll discuss that in the calves video. Today, what I'm going to talk about is the quadriceps. So the quadriceps are consisting mainly of four muscles. So if I remember them correctly, there is the rectus femoris, the vastus intermedius, the vastus lateralis, and the vastus medialis. Now these names are all very Latiny, but like we don't have to. The only Latin thing I want is forget about that. Forget about that. Anyways, so these basically the names tell you where the muscle is situated in the front of your thigh. The function of these muscles is simply to extend your knee. See, now the knee is an example of a hinge joint. We have seen a hinge joint before. It's A hinge joint is basically, have you seen a door? A door is hinging on a hinge joint, right? So there is a door basically like closed like that and opens like that. So like this here is the hinge joint, right? So you can open the door or you can extend it or you can close the door, you can flex it in terms of the knee if I bring it. So the extend part is carried out by the quadriceps. Right? So how do you train this? Say it with me. You extend the knee. That's right. Such a smart audience. So how do you extend the knee? There is actually a machine developed for this exact purpose, and that is very creatively called the leg extension. It You have to basically sit and you have to extend your leg and your quadriceps. But we know that this is an example of an isolation exercise. There is an exercise for the legs which is not an isolation exercise and is very actually famous, is called the squat. The squat is a very potent, a very grueling exercise, and it is also something that every Indian does in the morning while shitting. Unless, of course, they have the Western toilet system installed. What else? What else? So we have discussed the function of the quadriceps, how to train the quadriceps. We are at the squat. Yes, we are at the squat. So basically, in a squat, you have to. So if I say that this is the knee, and so this is your thigh, so your like your calves, and so this is your upper body. So in a squat, your weight is over here on your back, and you are doing basically this, right? You are sitting down and then you are coming up, and a lot of quads are targeted this because you can see like there is an extension motion right there is there. So that is the squat. There is variation in squat. So there are two main, like notably, I would say is the front squat. So in a front squat, basically, instead of keeping the weight on your back, you're keeping it on in front of you. So you the center of gravity kind of changes, center of mass kind of changes. So like you get a little bit of upright, and so it targets the quads more in a very small, in a very minute way. Then there is a split squat, which is just a one-legged squat. And the split squat even has variations in itself. So there is lunges, there is walking lunges, and there are also Bulgarian split squats. So I would say that the go-to exercise for anyone who's training legs is the squat. However, you will also need a lot of mental strength to do the squat. And also, you will develop a lot of mental strength when you do a squat. So I feel it's a win-win. A squat is the go-to exercise, as I said. You can also include other exercises like the lunges. I would actually advise doing lunges because it's closer to your actual walking pattern, so your legs develop in like that manner, kind of. If you want to load up on like weight and you want to become really strong in the legs, squat is a very great exercise for that. Lunges, walking lunges, and you can also sprinkle in a little bit of leg extensions if you want to stop walking altogether and crawl to your home after the gym. All right, that's been it for the quads today. We will meet in the next video. Bye bye. Class dismissed.